I know some students are fortunate enough to be able to study for the LSAT full-time with no other obligations, but most people realistically just are not in this situation. So if you're balancing LSAT prep with a job, with school, with family responsibilities, this video is for you. At LSAT Unplugged, one of the things we help our students do is craft a personalized day-by-day study plan so that you know exactly what to do every single day over the course of your prep. This includes which prep test problems to complete, which videos to watch, when to do individual questions by type or timed sections, or full-length exams as test day approaches. And if you're studying for the LSAT full-time with no other obligations, of course, we will cram that schedule full of work. We'll have you work through the majority of the prep tests released by LSAC, but if you're not in that situation, we'll help you dial it down and make it manageable so that you're not feeling overwhelmed and you're not running the risk of burnout. And so if you're working full-time while studying for the LSAT, we'll help you fit LSAT prep into the little pockets you have in your day here and there, whether it's before work, during lunch, during downtime at work, or after work. And same goes, by the way, for if you're at school, in between your classes, maybe a bit more on the weekends, maybe a bit more during holiday breaks from school. We'll help you fit it in here and there. And the truth is that even as little as 5-10 minutes can be impactful for your LSAT prep if you use it the right way. Obviously, 35 minutes for a full-time section or an hour and 10 minutes for 2 timed sections back-to-back can be incredibly helpful, but as little as 5 minutes is enough to make a noticeable impact in your LSAT prep by doing as little as watching a course lesson video or doing an individual single logical reasoning question. One thing, however, you don't want to do is you don't want to ever time individual logic games or individual reading comprehension passages because they only make sense in the context of a full timed section. Not all games are of equal difficulty. Not all reading comp passages are of equal difficulty. And so you want to make sure that you are considering that this game or this passage might be hard and might require more than 8:45 in order to reasonably solve it. And by 8:45, of course, I mean 8 minutes and 45 seconds, which is the average allotted amount of time you have to solve a single passage or game, but that's only an average. Some are easier, some are harder. And so, of course, if you're taking the LSAT on paper, you might want to print out LSAT practice tests, or you might want to get a book of LSAT exams to carry with you on the go. If not, of course, you can use LSAC's Law Hub, which is the only system that is actually ever going to look exactly like what you'll experience on test day when you're taking the LSAT remotely on your own computer. So make sure that you have your Law Hub login saved on your devices, that you can easily log into it wherever you are, so that you can even pull it out while you're waiting in line somewhere to do a single LSAT question. And then, of course, later on your own, you can review the mistakes that you're making. Maybe you carry with you an iPad or a notebook so that you can write down your thought process in terms of what questions you're getting wrong and why, so that you can avoid making the same mistakes again. But that's going to happen when you have longer periods. And so with shorter nugget-sized bits of time here and there on the go, you do individual questions of logical reasoning primarily because those are bite-sized and individual. They don't require any context. Then with the longer sittings, you do a game or a reading comp passage and you engage in your in-depth review process. If you want to fit in study time when you're working full-time, maybe you squeeze in an hour before work, an hour during lunch, an hour after work. Maybe you go to the office in a conference room that's empty, or you find a coffee shop or library nearby your office to fit it in here and there. If you have young kids in the house, maybe your spouse or significant other takes care of them for you for a little while, for a couple hours, so that you can knock out a full-length practice test or even just a couple of individual timed sections here and there. It's going to require negotiation with your other obligations, whether it's work or school, negotiation with your family, but you're going to want to have buy-in from the people in your life who are committed to your success so that they will help you out in the short term so that you can make steady forward progress with the LSAT and knock it out. But it's going to require that you block off specific times on your calendar here and there, ideally all 5 days of the week. But if not that, at least you're blocking out a couple of hours on at least one weekend day to make sure that you are continuing to make forward progress. And at minimum, I recommend doing at least one LSAT question every single day just to make sure that you're making steady forward momentum towards your LSAT goals so that you don't have to, of course, keep pushing back the LSAT, withdrawing, postponing, delaying. You want to be done with the LSAT, move on with your life, get into law school, become a successful attorney. Not like me. I'm still stuck here doing the LSAT 15 years later, but I love it. Don't get me wrong. And one thing I do for my students at LSAT Unplugged is, again, we help you create a personalized day-by-day study plan. And so if you'd like my help creating that study plan, you can check out the links below this video to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out on the path to scoring 170 plus. And in the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.